hiring managers that add a hiring frame to their LinkedIn profiles receive 2 times more qualified applicants. Go to linkedin.com/achieve to post your job for free. Terms apply.
I would have got fired if they weren't looking for bodies on the register. I mean, pretty much that's what they were looking for. If you had a pulse, boom, you're hired. Genuinely, that's what it felt like. So I got lucky that I was not fired. Otherwise, I would have had to find some other shit to do. My dumbass may or may not have gotten finessed by a customer. I don't know what the outcome was of this, but my dumbass basically did not know how to run their payment through a check, right? And in order for the check to go through, obviously it needs to be signed by the person. Or, well, I knew this, but I was, like, unsure, and I let this lady manipulate me. So I told her, I'm like, hey, the check's unsigned. You have to sign it. And she was like, oh, no, you can just hand somebody the blank check, and it will just go through. I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, and of course they drilled into my head. The supermarket I worked at, the customer is always right. I don't know how many times they said that throughout my opening meeting or whatever it was, but second guessing myself in that moment, I'm like, oh, maybe she is right. But I'm like, what? No, that's stupid. Obviously she's trying to, like, finesse you. And these 2 thoughts in my brain were just completely duking it out, and I had no idea what to do in that moment. And I can't. Of course I did. I was like, oh, sure, I'll just run it through. And the check went through, just getting new system.
As a small business owner, my favorite thing about posting a job on LinkedIn is that when I hit post, I clock out and LinkedIn clocks in.
LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, get qualified candidates, and manage them all in one place. Plus, LinkedIn extends the reach of your job post by allowing you to share it with your network. And hiring managers that add a hiring frame to their LinkedIn profiles receive 2 times more qualified applicants. Go to linkedin.com/achieve to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit Shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Yeah, second guess myself, but I knew it. I was right. Even though it has her account number on it, they still won't be able to cash it without a signature. It doesn't matter. Or maybe they will. I don't fucking know. So I never really found out the outcome of the situation, whether the check went through or not, but I still got written up regardless. And I'm lucky I didn't get suspended again or fired, because that very well could have happened. And like I said earlier, they definitely just let it slide because they needed people out there. They were just fucking deploying any other person off the street to work at my grocery store. It didn't even matter to them. The interview process did not take that much brain cells to go through, so they were pretty desperate for help at this point. But the craziest customer I have dealt with by far, I mentioned him briefly in my last video, but I never really went into the whole great guy. And the reason why we would call him that, well, he would carry around this big-ass milk crate with him everywhere he went. And Crate Guy was a spectacle, truly. He was one of the regulars, always in the store every single day. Now, this took place from 2020, 2021, around that time. And the very first encounter that I had with this dude is that he was apologizing to my friend. And I was really confused. I was like, what is going on? And who even is this guy? I just got off break and I'm like, okay, clearly some shit must have happened. And I asked my friend what happened. And pretty much what he said, he asked him if he was in school and like what he was doing for like extracurriculars and shit like that. And he told him he was doing math debate. Some of you may see where this is going, some of you may not. And basically what happened is Crate Guy said, so, are you a mass debater? Like, this dude really made a dad joke about choking the chicken. That is insane. So he was just laughing uncomfortably the whole time, and then he was like, no, really, it was like a serious question. Do you touch yourself? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, on everything, this is a real story. On my channel, on my life, on everything. This shit is real. Crate Guy looked like he was pushing 70. He looked like Carl from Up. So my friend was obviously like, okay, I just need to get this guy the hell out of here. And that he does. And afterward, the manager asked him if he wanted to go work in the bakery. So he did for a little bit, and then he talked to the manager about Crate Guy. And then he tells the manager, like, hey, can you make sure he doesn't go through my line again? Because what he said to me was insane. And that was when I first encountered him, the second time my friend saw him. And once my friend dropped the lore to me about Crate Guy, yeah, bro, I just did not want this dude in my line at all. Like, I would turn off my light every single time this dude would pull up, because I did not want to talk to this dude. Because every time he would talk to me, like when I was on my break, he would be talking to me for like...
As a small business owner, my favorite thing about posting a job on LinkedIn is that when I hit post, I clock out and LinkedIn clocks in.
LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, get qualified candidates, and manage them all in one place. Plus, LinkedIn extends the reach of your job post by allowing you to share it with your network. And hiring managers that add a hiring frame to their LinkedIn profiles receive 2 times more qualified applicants. Go to linkedin.com/achieve to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit Shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
10 minutes straight about what the hell he was talking about, to be honest with you. He was telling me how he was writing a book, and he was also cooking up a GoFundMe. And that's why he was there so often. He would always be typing his GoFundMe on the computer. And he would always tell all of us, every cashier that was at the store at this point, to go check it out. And that we did, okay? We were all curious. We had to check out this GoFundMe. He told me the name, but I couldn't really remember it the first time, but luckily I came across him again. I was working the express register one day. Crate Guy went through my line, and it was a blessing in disguise. He was telling me about the GoFundMe again, and I told him to write it down on a piece of paper because, you know, I just couldn't find it, bro. You gotta tell me what the name is. And he did. He told me the name, and obviously I'm not gonna say it, but we'll just say it was like Crate Guy 123. What a creative name, I know. Everybody was asking me, they were like, yo, what's the GoFundMe? And I just gave them the piece of paper. And we had to turn our phones into a bin for some reason. I mean, I kept mine on me. I didn't really care. We really couldn't use our phones at all or else we were cooked. So we just looked it up the moment we got home. Me and my friends were at an Xbox party, and the friend of mine that had that weird-ass encounter with Crate Guy, he was the one reading the GoFundMe. And usually people will make a GoFundMe when they're in extreme need of, like, medical care or something like that. But this guy, he just made one for the fuck of it. And he made the goal, like, $1 million. I forget exactly what the goal was. I don't remember. But yeah, some of it's a little bit too deep for YouTube. I don't really want to talk about it. But in a nutshell, I don't think he had a place to live, so he was spending a lot of time in stores with his computer and shit like that. And basically, he would get...
Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike big wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower, but 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous 2-year contracts, they said, what the are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass? So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower, above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Get kicked out from these stores and places a lot for mooching off of their Wi-Fi and just staying there for way too long. I remember one time he stayed at our store for like 8+ hours and ended up getting kicked out by the end of the night because we can't let him stay there, bro. We gotta close down the store. I've never seen somebody more locked in typing up a GoFundMe in my entire life. Yeah, he would just be there for hours. I could be there the entire shift, and by the end of my shift, he was still there typing. The dedication is crazy, man. He had to stay locked in. But yeah, clearly Crate Guy had a lot going on mentally, and some crazy shit happened where apparently somebody ended ended up getting a restraining order on him, so yeah. It's a long story. That was the spark notes of it, but it was basically his life lore, and that shit was like 20 pages long. I don't know how my friend read the entire thing, but he did. And was this the book he was talking about he was working on? I'm not even sure. I don't know. But this next story, unfortunately, closed a little chapter of the Crate Guy lore. You know, just ended it with a nice little bow on top, closed the storybook, and I never saw him after this. But yeah, literally 2 weeks later, this is like right before I was about to leave, the service clerk went outside to get carts as per usual, and he saw none other than Crate Guy just pissing in the parking lot. There is a bathroom in the store. I don't know why he had to piss in the parking lot. So there he was, pissing in Ultra HD view, so the service clerk went to go get the manager, and this dude, Crate Guy, got banned. I might have to ask my friends who still work there. I don't know if he ever got unbanned. I'm not even sure. But yeah, watch the first video I made about my experience working a retail job. Just click on it. I've seen an increased usage of the words gooning and edging. As I'm aging, I slowly feel like I'm losing touch to all the shit that's going on the internet. I just feel like I'm not in tune anymore. This has apparently been an internet meme for a while, and I didn't know about it until a couple months ago. What these words mean is they involve explicit content, like the hub or OF, and they have long watch sessions of said content. This is the best way I can explain it without this video getting taken down, so if you know, you know. Gooning, edging, whatever the hell you want to call it, has become a serious addiction for people. And this has always been a huge problem in Gen Z. Consuming explicit content like that releases a shit ton of dopamine, so obviously it's easy as to get addicted. And that's why I advise you not to touch that shit with a 10-foot pole, bro. Block that shit at all costs, bro. It's horrible for you. I know a lot of people say these two words ironically, but there are some people who actually unironically do shit. They sit there for hours a day and just goon. And basically just waste the entire day away. And of course, like any addiction, it causes a lot of problems. Gooners, I guess that's what you call them, I don't know. They sit in their room and do nothing but said activity, right? And they call this place the Goon Cave.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify. This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Spotify.
That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. They want to make it sound all mysterious and shit. They're trying to make themselves sound a superhero. You're just lying here. Oh, bro. There is nothing of value getting done when you head to, quote, the Goon Cave. When you're hanging out with your friends, bro, no one's sending out a bat signal for you to go back to the Goon Cave. Sorry, boys. The Goon Cave's calling the name. And it is basically just a fancy term for a musty-ass room where they just sit there and watch that content all day. And I don't know how people could live in such filth. Everybody's room gets messy from time to time, right? But who the fuck would want to live in piles of pizza boxes, dirty clothes, a bunch of McDonald's bags, and yeah, I don't know, bro. You get the point. The room is in dire need of a Glade air freshener. There is no superhero activities going on in this cave, bro. It looks like a fucking episode of Hoarders when you walk in. And the only similarity that this room has to the Batcave is the insane amount of monitors right here. And of course, you can take a wild guess what they're doing with all these goddamn monitors. They got 3 things going at once. It's like one of the Subway Surfer videos you see on TikTok with explicit content. One video is already bad. It's way too overstimulating for the mind to handle. But they got like 3 videos going at once. How do you do that without your brain exploding? I don't know, man, but I guess their goal is to try to consume as much of this content as possible for as long as possible. And gooners alike even have forums and communities where they share their goon caves and shit like that. They just go on here to brag about their gooning sessions. Very degenerate shit, bro. And they sit there and type up a whole paragraph. Yeah, bro, I just did a 9-hour gooning session. And this is just so weird. weird that this shit's being encouraged and people are acting like this is some kind of achievement. This is degenerate ass activity, and gooning becomes their entire personality. And it's gotten to the point where they talk about it with people in real life. Now I'm sure people have asked them, oh, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Yeah, well, I'm a D1 gooner. You know me. Never mind, they don't really go outside. They're gooning outside. What do they do when they exit the goon cave? You know, like eventually they're gonna be forced out of there. When they exit their slumber and they leave hibernation, they bring what is called an emergency gooning kit. No, I'm not even joking. I don't know if this post is a troll or what, but somebody said emergency gooning kit I made just in case I need to goon immediately anywhere I am.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Green
Girls over here. I'd rather get shot in the face by a rifle before I ever turn down that path. I'd rather just keep trying and keep falling over on my face, because what's the use? We only live on this planet once. So why wouldn't you want to seek relationships with... I don't know. And this
message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Spotify. Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify.
Real people. I don't know. And this has become a huge problem with OnlyFans. People think they are getting some kind of real relationship out of it by giving these girls money. They think that talking to these people is a real connection, even though they're just slowly draining away their pockets until there's nothing left, until they have no motion at all and they gotta live on the streets. Some dude with like a bunch of OnlyFans memberships is probably gonna comment on this video, dude, but they message me back all the time. No, it's another dude that they paid behind the line to be their social media manager. That's who's messaging you. So next time your down badass pays money for these people to message you, think twice about who you're saying this shit to, because it's most definitely not the girl. And now OnlyFans girls are running these gooners' bank accounts dry. There's people blowing thousands of dollars a year on OnlyFans. And this huge rise of OnlyFans started during quarantine because everybody was just locked in their houses and really had nothing to do. Naturally, these down bad dudes started flocking to OnlyFans. These motherfuckers gotta pay that shit on their monthly bills. They got rent, electric, water, and then they got fucking OnlyFans bill. And sometimes these people will go out of their way and just send gifts to these girls out of nowhere. And people also do this for girl streamers as well. Yeah.